We're doing a social experiment. We're putting our laying hens and our chicks together today in the little run. Not Kebab, because for sure he'll feed up the chicks. So we're gonna see how the hens do with the chicks. And if they start beating them up, I guess we gotta kick them out. This is just temporary because we're giving the chicks a field trip. Letting them get used to the bigger run. Have some space to run around. Let's see if they get out. Trying to make sure que no les agarramos las patas. Get out. Bien miedo. Todas.
No.
¿Ya?
No, todavía hay uno más. Que no se va a hacer.
Espérate. Así de lado. Loca, déjala ahí. Ahorita se va a salir sola. ¿Alcanzan esa agua, no? Voy a bajar esta poquito. Today is going to be to make a separate entrance for the hens to come into the hen house so they can have access to the nesting boxes. So my plan is that we'll have a separate entrance into the big run or exit or whatever, however they want to use it. I'm going to make it through the nesting boxes, and that way when they're up in the morning they go out and stay out of this little run, and we can bring the chicks in here to have some room to run around. Hey, that's not nice. All right, she's going out. Sácala. Okay guys, getting ready to go outside. SPF time. So a little bit of a side comment. My kids and I have a deal that when we reach 100 subscribers, I will finally invest in a new camera. Because even though this camera is doing a good job-ish, pardon me, because this camera that we're using now, Sony, it's a Sony, it's not too bad, it's just from the past decade, and we're looking at trying to get something that's a little bit more modern, easier to carry, maybe a little bit faster on the recording. I don't know. We'll see what happens. If you guys like, go ahead and subscribe. I also want to apologize in advance for all my scratchy voice situation. Look at the chickies. Hold on. So I guess they found a little spot where they all just want to hang out. It might be a little bit cold today. So I was saying, I have a little bit of a scratchy voice today, more than usual, and that's just because allergy season, like all of this pollen from palo verdes and everything else makes my allergies flare. So I'm sorry if I keep clearing my throat. Check out how pretty this mint is coming along. I'm just gonna rotate. Well, maybe I want to keep some of this, huh? Okay, eat that. So one of the things I need to do first is I need to take these pellets off, and I'm gonna remove this old chiltepin because last year it got, oh, maybe it's coming back. You see all these black things? Can you see? Well, the whole plant was covered in them. Oh my word. Could it be coming back? Am I zooming in? See? All these black dots were covering the whole plant. And I washed it out a couple times and the peppers were doing okay, but it didn't come back. So I'm gonna take it out and I'm gonna kind of level out the dirt over here. Plus it'll give me a little bit more room to work over here because I have to make that separate entrance. Alright, so I'm just gonna let the chickens have a little feast with all the bugs they're finding underneath that old tire, which we had put just so that the chiltepin could have some more extra humidity in there. But I have a lot of chores. I'm gonna start cleaning out some of the guinea pig stuff and this chicken, what did we call it? A brooder. Chick brooder. We also have some softball practice going on. Okay, so I stood up the tire for a little while and the chickens picked around in there. I think it should be safe. I'm gonna take it out and take out the stick. That's all it is now, it's just a stick. So I want to show you guys right here the palo verde split, and it's actually split a couple of times. You can see up there too. So that kind of thing happens a lot here with desert plants, the mesquites, the palo verdes, even like cactus, prickly pear. When the winds come by and we get a lot of wind, the branches will be so heavy that they'll just break. So these mesquites around here, there was a lot. As you can see, we have some stumps still that we weren't able to take out because they were pretty big, but we took out about 100 mesquites and palo verdes, and prickly pear, choya from this little area where the run is, and we couldn't get those stumps out. They wore us out, so we left them. But they are kind of a tripping hazard, so I'm gonna have to eventually get rid of these. But anyway, so I was saying that we had to take them out. There was just too many. When the canopy of these trees start to grow, they'll kind of come together and they'll make a really good shade. So we don't really need to have hundreds in here. And also because since we're watering all the plants that we have in here, or had, because I just took one out, that's why these plants or trees are getting so much water and they're breaking. Don't mind the empty plates here. These are just dishes that I took out of the house, and I usually fill them with water. But anyway, I was trying to show you this mesquite, all this growth right here. I'm gonna cut it off, but it just constantly grows because it has so much water here. And what we want to do is make sure that we keep that trimmed up and make sure that the tree knows where it's supposed to be putting out its growth, which is on these bigger branches that we're trying to keep. Make these nice and stable, and we always have to be trimming up on top, making sure that they're what we call entresacados there. But all of these trees, they look bare in the fall, winter. They look like I left twigs. But really what I'm trying to do is make sure that the big supporting branches are strong, and when all that extra leaf the leafing grows on, that the branches are strong enough to support it. I apologize for the razor and kebab. There's nothing I could do about kebab, but the razor, my son's just cleaning up, putting things away from our Easter. But here's that stump. So the chickens or chicks have been outside all day. We got the brooder back inside the house. We're gonna bring them back in, and then we're going to get started on the nesting box entrance. You know where that red shade is?
Checking the cuartito right here.
Inside inside that cabinet here.
is to put a plank out. So when we come out in the morning, we're only going to open one side, let this drop, and then they'll have a plank out. And we also got to cover that up because we don't want them during the day to go in and out into the little run, which is where we'll have our chicks. So this extra latch here is just so that something doesn't force itself in, extra protection. But when we open them up in the morning, we'll come in and just get rid of this latch and drop it so the plank will hold it, and then they'll go out and it'll stay open. So if it's leave it open. Then this latch is for when we come to grab our eggs. And it changes holds the door from slamming open. Lots of latches. And when the middle latch is there, this kind of just looks like how it used to look. And we might get to use that in the future again when the chicks are big enough. So this board was still inside the little run, covered in dirt. And I'm just gonna wash it up because this is the piece that we took out of the door. And we don't ever have to really close it because it's so hot here. Even in the winter, it doesn't get so cold that we have to close it. With just plugging up the vents, it helps. But it helps them to get circulation of air in there, and so we don't ever close it. But now we're gonna have to close it just to make sure that the chickens, the hens, don't go into the little run when the chicks are in the little run. What's the chicken logic? Tell me. are we gonna keep it open?
It stays open. 25.
Oh, okay. Okay, guys, so the door is done. So is that second entrance. Thank you. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you'll stay tuned for some more. I think tomorrow we're going to harvest garlic. I messed up because I watered today, but hopefully it still works out. Sorry that took the whole entire day. It's cold already, and we had some softball training sessions earlier, and then we were doing some cleaning and other random things, so I had to wait for my husband to do the more technical stuff anyway, because he doesn't like when I do those things. They need to be done right, he says. So I just waited for him, and now it's all finished. Hopefully this will help our chickens so that the baby chicks can have a little more room in their run, get some outdoor time, and then these big old guys can enjoy the big run. And I know I got a little bit carried away with like 20 chickens, but we're not going into the egg business or anything, but we're kind of conscious of the fact that they might not all make it. Okay guys, so getting ready to go outside, so you're such a bully. Hello, la sigue. Where are you going? Don't go. Don't go, don't go. Come on. Come here, Kebab. Let me hold you. Kebab. Come here, Kebab. Come on, Kebab. Oh, you don't like it, huh? You don't like it when they chase you, huh? Bully.
We'll take this one and then this side and then.
Oh my God, did you turn this off? Did you
¿Qué?
turn this off?
No, tú nunca lo hiciste, right?